the month or the beginning of the year, if you prefer, I released my top 10 favourite movies of 2022. This was an amazing year for movies. I loved of most of them that came out. However, not every year is without its bad films. And while I wouldn't say that there are too many bad films, in fact there are only 2 movies that I would consider bad. The rest range from decent at best to mediocre at worst. Alright, so seeing as most of these films are actually decent and mediocre, instead of doing a top 10 worst, I'll be doing a top 5 instead, to show you what I think were the 5 weaker films that were released last year. I'm Charlie Lipinski, and these are the top 5 worst movies of 2022. Number 5. The Lost City. Okay, I know this isn't a good start to the list, especially how this movie's already got much of a cult following, with a lot of people liking it. But I'll be honest, this was my biggest disappointment of 2022. I was expecting for this to be a fun rom-com / action adventure, and I didn't really get much out of it. Where it does have a really dull old story that's not that exciting, on top of characters that we've seen many times already. However, what is good in this film is actually well done. And to its credit, the movie does have some really great visual effects that do bring in the jungle to life. Some of the humour is actually pretty good. And the action can get quite intense at times. It's definitely not the worst film of the year. Yeah, but it's more of a film that I wouldn't mind if it actually did stay lost. Number 4. Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Goes Mayhem in the Multiverse. You know how Lost City was the most disappointing movie for me this year? Well, this film is very close, mainly because I feel like I was lied to with this film. From the seams of it, I thought I was mainly going to get a film focused on both the Teen Titans Go characters and the DC Superhero Girls characters, like every crossover should do, right? Well, it tries to focus more on the DC Superhero Girls side more than the Teen Titans Go side, making them feel like a bit of an afterthought in this film. Because of that, it leaves a lot of the charm of the story away, because it's not as exciting as you wanted it to be. And it's a real shame, though, because as a DC Superhero Girls film, it's actually not a bad one, especially when it has a solid enough story, surprisingly good animation, and the girls themselves are still pretty likeable. It's just, as when you think of it as a crossover film with Teen Titans Go, it's very disappointing that it focuses on one part instead of the other. But don't get me wrong, there are some really good things in this movie. It's just us came out as the biggest liar of 2022. Number 3, Marmaduke. Now, I know many people are probably expecting this film to be a lot lower on the list, since many people do consider this to be the worst animated film of the year. But I'll be honest, this movie's bad, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. Don't get me wrong, there is not really much original to say about Marmaduke. The story is dull, lazy, and unoriginal. Or the characters don't have much going for them. And the animation is some of the worst animation you could ever find on Netflix. However, I wouldn't call this movie a waste of time, because there are also a few things that I thought were done okay. Here, it does have actually a pretty solid voice cast, as while they weren't doing much with their materials, the actors gave it their all with all their performances to offer at least a decent performance. Nothing groundbreaking, but not much where I can leave without saying that I hated the acting here. Also, so there are times when the film can actually be a little funny. Nay, not that much, but when the jokes are good, they are actually quite decent. So there are a few okay things with this film, but for the most part, this movie is just a bit of a bad dog. Number 2, The Ice Age Adventures of Buckwild. Ice Age made a surprising return at the beginning of 2022, near the end of January, or first in the UK, the end of March. Because it's a franchise that we thought we would never see again, especially how many of us consider it's the last movie. But as Film Collision, of course, as the weakest film of the franchise, and plus the fact that Blue Sky Studios has shut down in February 2021. But no, they still want to keep this franchise alive. And it leads to be one of the most regrettable decisions you could ever find on Disney Plus. I won't say it's completely worthless though. The first 15 minutes of the movie are solid. And despite this not being produced by Blue Sky, the animation is pretty decent. But I'll be honest, this film is not only one of the more unnecessary films of the year, but the worst film of the Ice Age franchise. Especially when it has a very weak and predictable story that can't be salvaged. It's one characters that range from unlikable to and annoying to just one-dimensional, and acting that's a mixed bag. There are a few actors that do actually offer a pretty good performance, but you can tell they're not convincing compared to the original act to the first time around. And the worst thing about it is that it does have a concept that would work well for a spin-off feature. Like, I'll admit, but Oxford escapades in the Lost World couldn't be enough to make an okay spin-off show. It's just when you add the Ice Age elements into it, there is not really much that they can do, since they have to mix both a spin-off and an Ice Age film together, and it doesn't work. I know that they want to continue doing more of these, but if they're gonna keep going asking quality, then I'm just gonna have a bit of an ice rage. And the number one worst movie of 2022 is Disenchanted. Tid. Okay, I'll admit I did like the first Enchanted. It was a really good film. Not the best as the live action animation hybrid by Disney, but it did do most things pretty well. Oh, so making a sequel should be a decent job, right? Well, here's the thing. Disenchanted took what made the first film really good, did the exact opposite. It, like the other films on this list, there are a few good things about this, especially how the visuals themselves are actually pretty good and worth putting up on the big screen. Even though this is for a Disney Plus original feature. But everything else does fall flat. The story is like the first, but only a lot worse. And more confusing. Sing the characters went from pretty likeable and charming to dull and forgettable. And while there are a few decent musical numbers, the songs keep going on and on to the point where you just have to cover your ears because they're playing too many songs at you. And I'll be honest, one of the toughest decisions for this list was to decide what movie was worse. As this or the Ice Age Adventures Buckworld. But at least with Buckworld, it does have an idea that could work for a good spin-off. Of Disenchanted, felt like it didn't have any idea whatsoever, but and just for the film that was a big downgrade from the original. And not only was it a big downgrade from the first film, but it also made Disenchanted the worst movie of 2022. And that's all I got for the top 5 worst movies of 2022. But compared to the other film, these 5 are just us not much, cause there are a lot of better films. And I mean lots of better films. Seriously. I watched 50 movies last year. And the fact that I only find 2 to be pretty bad, I with a few mediocre ones like the other 3 on this list. This is actually a bit of a surprise. Let's just hope the films this year don't get worse, and I don't have to watch more bad films than I did this year. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!